everyone, my name is Hannah Lee, and today I'm going to teach you some hard SAT writing questions. Let's go to the first question. Okay. It says, which choice completes the text so that it conforms to the convention of the standard English? The paragraph says, most zookeepers claim that they are willing to sacrifice for their job. Shaban Matan, a zookeeper at the Carpon Park Zoo, exemplifies this blind. She is comfortable working weekends and holidays to take care for the zoo animals. So I highlighted with the subject with the yellow highlight and verb with the blue highlight. So as you can see, between the blank, there's two independent clauses, which means there are two subject and verb, two subject verb. So that means option A and C doesn't make sense due to the comma place error. So it should be either B or D because it used the semicolon and the colon. The difference between B and D is there a comma after says or not? And when we say subject says comma, after the comma, there should be some clause with apostrophe with subject and verb, which means there should be apostrophe and it should be independent clause. And also the first letter should be capitalized. So, but in this case, after she says, there is no apostrophe and she doesn't start with a capital. So the answer would be D. Let's move on to question 24. It says, which choice completes the text with the most logical transition? Let's read the paragraph together. NW Rhoda 1 is far beyond the ocean's photoid zone where sunlight drives photosynthesis. Blank, bacteria supporting a unique food web have adapted to this perpetually dark environment. The bacteria have evolved to use hydrogen sulfide instead of the sunlight for the energy that drives their metabolic processes, and hydrothermal venting is the source of the chemical soup necessary to support them. So basically, the paragraph is saying NW rota 1 is where the sunlight cannot go in, which means there is no photosynthesis. Then blank came out, and after the blank, they suggest a bacteria which support not via the photosynthesis, but they're some kind of unique adapted characteristic that can survive in the NW rhoda zone. They adapted. So between the first and the second sentence, I believe this is not furthermore similarly afterwards because it somewhat contrasts the first and the second idea, and it's suggesting like a new idea, like so there should be nevertheless, because there is no light, there shouldn't be photosynthesis. Nevertheless, there were bacteria came out of a unique adapted characteristic, so it should be A. Let's move on to question 26. It says, which choice completes the text with the most logical transition? A is in addition, B is actually, C is however, and D is regardless. So let's read the paragraphs together. Samara Courageous Taylor was a prominent classical music composer from England who toured the US three times in the early 1900s. The threat of the West African father and the English mother, George Taylor emphasized his mixed-race ancestry. For example, he referred to himself as Anglo-African when he incorporated the sounds of traditional African music into his classical music composition. So I think between the brand, there was example one, which is he used the Anglo-African style in his music, and I think after the blank, there is the new example came out, which is he incorporated the sounds of the traditional African music. So it's basically adding up a similar idea after the blank. So, however, doesn't make sense. Regardless, doesn't make sense because it's like just giving another idea. So actually, doesn't make sense because there's no like surprise event. So I think in addition, it must make sense because it's like giving us one detail and then detail two. Number 20, which choice completes the text so that it conforms to the convention of the standard English. Even though consumers of the solar power systems may prioritize saving money over helping the environment, technological and economical development in the solar power industry ensure they are doing both. Consumers are not the only ones for whom solar power is a win-win. Blank, as a result of their own effort, industry employees can make demand for an environmental friendly service while also making a good living for themselves. Um, so I think I can group A and C as one and B and D as one because for A and C you can see that after go there is no comma or no semicolon, which means it uses as order. But B and D after go there is colon or semicolon, which means it means however. And in the paragraph, though should be used as however according to the context. So it should be either B or D. But since there is subject and verb, it means two independent clause, so comma cannot be used. So it should be semicolon, so the answer would be D.